Mudborne. It's a game about making frogs. You breed them and mess around with specific traits to make new variants. It doesn't sound like a lot, but by far, this has been my favorite game of the year. It's such a relaxing game filled with frogs and a surprisingly fun amount of critical thinking. Since this game blew me out of the water, I wanted to experience it all. I wanted to get every achievement. It's a calm enough game. I mean, how many achievements can they really have? Oh shit. This is a story about Trevor. Him. Whoa! This is the pond mother. To keep things short, we just came out of an abrupt hibernation and are tasked with getting things back up and running. We're given the compendium and wake up in Hoppert's place. In the compendium, we find our current task. First and foremost, we gotta know how to play the game. During this time, we got the most basic achievements. Getting our first frog, mushroom, and bug. For our valiant efforts, we're given the Atlas. Yay! We fastly get the tools of the trade. I ate a bug. And I found out what it tasted like. A bit bitter, but all bugs have signature flavors that different frogs are gonna need. A quick bucket of mud later, and we're also given the scrapbook. Yeah, I already did all this. Finding our first entry in the notebook gives us another achievement. In these notes, we learn about a frog named Dumeril. Seems like a smart guy, but it doesn't really concern us. It is time for us to start growing mushrooms. By being in specific weather conditions, different mushrooms will spawn. Like how during the day, in water, while raining, we can grow stout funnel. Here is where we understand the importance of mushrooms. Each type gives different boosts to specific traits. There are 7 different traits, all with their own unique functions. Amplitude, nobility, odor, umbrage, ribbit, audacity, and saturation. I'm not gonna explain them all now, only when they're relevant. Oh wait, we need to name our funny guy. Common Green. Charlie. Our first order is to get these frogs hot and bothered. By setting the mood, we can get tadpoles with that specific frog's genetics. No! I killed my guy! No, I didn't know you'd die! Why is when they bang, they die? What the hell?
I crushed the
mushrooms. We can make our mushrooms into powder with the crusher, then use that powder with mud to create magic mud. This allows us to alter tadpoles' genetics to get completely different frogs, like the vast mud lurker. He's maxed out in amplitude. More amplitude, the bigger you are. Less, the smaller you are. And this guy's big. While messing around with these traits, I also created a different variant of the common green. Each species has 2 other unique variants than just their base types. And thankfully, they all come with a little hint as to how to create them. The best part? An achievement! With the vast mud lurker in hand, we can go to this monument. These are called reflection pools, and by putting in a frog with the specified genetic code, you can get access to the dream. What did I just do? The dream is an alternative version of where we just were, the waking world. Here, there can be a few differences that actually help us progress, like bridges, some open doors, and different frogs. We also found our first map. After getting a key in the dream, we use it to get to the top of Hoppert's place. Here, we can find some blueprints for Hoppert and access another important area, the Gateway Nexus. I know it sounds like super overwhelming, but for now, it's just our way of fast traveling. While here, we go through this door and find ourselves a shiny thing? A shiny thing? Wait, what? I found a shiny frog? Who cares that I don't know what this thing does? It's shiny! When I was poking around in the dream, I found a note from before saying how winter storms were approaching. And fast. Well, I mean, that explains why there's barely anyone here. Oh yeah, and I got to pick up a few new mushrooms too. I opened up the second pool with the long-legged dazzler, which I made a bit ago. How dapper. He can look this good thanks to nobility. If high, then they have some good fashion sense. But if low, well, the book says that it literally does nothing. So then, what's the point of even having no nobility? Being big isn't the only perk to having max amplitude. Heavier frogs can be used on pressure plates to create new paths. Hello. Looking pretty noble there, Dendro. He tells us that for us to get anywhere, we gotta get some stepping stones back up. However, this reflection pool isn't the same as any others we've seen before. This has the addition of an ancestry lock, which means that we not only have to put in the correct frog, but its parents have to have specific stats as well. Hey, pay attention. Hey, stop looking at the sunken treasure. By maxing out the umbrage and audacity, we got ourselves the furious lurker. But that's not where things end. We then use that as our base for its variant, the rancid lurker, who's the key to the genetic lock. Just take a seat on the pressure plate right here, and then we get a backpack for our hard work. I wanted to go look for this specific critter right here. Alright, well I guess we'll just continue on with our journey. Welcome to the Central Junction, the area between other areas. Dendro lets us know that we have to help the pond mother. 3 seals are needed from around the pond to help her get back in shape. There's one in the kindergarten, residential district, and climate control. For now, we head out to the kindergarten to meet with Ribbit. Our main goal is to find this seal, but to do that, we need to repair lifts around the kindergarten and get rid of this algae. To do that, we use these filters Ribbit made. To make good use out of them, we need frogs with high audacity. The higher it is, the more energy that they're gonna have. The lower, well, then you're just left with a bum. Oh. Okay, so it does. I'm not losing any. Oh my god, wait. We've hacked the system. Wait a minute. We're not losing any. Okay, well, I'm using that to my advantage. Yeah. Backpacks are busted. As long as I have the raw materials, I never have to lose any resources in the shop. Whoa. It's not scamming. It's outsmarting. There was actually some algae back at the spawning pool guarding a black-eyed baller plushie. I got no idea what this thing is, but hey, it is adorable. I learned of some new mushroom types that could only grow in the stagnant waters located in the kindergarten. So I slept till morning and harvested myself the shrinking cap and waited until dawn to get the stinking bullet. These new mushrooms were the key to opening up most of the reflection pools. We also get to see the use of odor. When maxed out, it's one smelly guy, which can be used in bug traps. Yeah, I never use these. And the less odor, the cleaner the frog is. I found both the botany journals that Ribbit asked me to look for, so I went back and gave them to him. With this new research, Ribbit can now give us tools that can combine 2 mushrooms together to make hybrids. Oh god. We need a spore net to even collect mushroom spores. Then we use those spores to make new variants. Hey, on the bright side, this allows for frog creation to go 10 times faster. And also get 10 times more complicated. This little bee was actually the halfway mark in our critter collection, which got us another achievement. But this base is looking a bit cluttered now. How about we... Hey, not too shabby. It's alive! Our first hybrid mushroom. We needed to recreate one of the mushroom's blooming conditions to actually be able to harvest it. So we have our portable stagnant water and BAM! Hybrid magic mud with even greater effects. What the hell is that? While searching through the dream, I found this weird stuff that was clearly blocking this door. Whatever, I guess it's for another time. By unlocking the third reflection pool, we found our last lift and fixed it up. Good as new. Unbroken. Flawless even. Maybe in tip-top shape. The seal is now not ours. It's guarded by a genetic lock consisting of 2 different frog types. But thanks to my curiosity, I'd already made both of these frogs before, unlocking the box and giving us our first seal. With the kindergarten complete, it's time for us to go in search of another seal in the residential district. When arriving, I found the map, which marked the halfway point in our atlas, met our new friend Croca, and learned about the flooding issue that's currently causing the residential district to be less than ready for said residents. To help drain this town out, we need to use frogs with an exceptional ribbit. Before, we had no ways of growing mushrooms that affected the ribbit trait. However, Croca's got us covered with the humidifier and dehydrator. By using frogs from both ends of the saturation spectrum, we can control the moisture levels of our surroundings. The saturation level of a frog will determine if it's either going to be a sopping mess or soak up water like a sponge. These frogs gave us a few different types of mushrooms, including the raucous cone cap, our ticket to loud-ass frogs. Before I did any helping, I went achievement hunting. I caught myself 50 bugs so that I could eat them all in quick succession to get fast food. Looked for the Forgotten Wish again, with no avail. Bro, where the f is this thing? But I was able to eat a bug from each flavor profile. Grew a bunch of mushrooms, which marked the halfway point in the encyclopedia. Planted tons of trees to do my part. Made a mushroom that did literally nothing. Then, finally, used Croakwork bridges for the first time. Alright, fine, I'll be helpful. Our little guys can actually unlock some doors for us, so they're a huge help. When exploring, I came across an interesting note, talking about how frogs just don't understand the nobility trait. It's definitely treated differently than the others, and it seems like this Dumeril frog we learned about before is also intrigued by this idea. I found the first pump to be powered by our frog's Ribbit. Okay, well, if you couldn't guess by now, the Ribbit trait determines how loud a frog is. When maxed, it can be used to power machines made out of rubidium, a metal that reacts to sound. And when minimized, you get some peace and quiet. 1 pool drained, 2 to go. With the Dockyard key, I entered to find the ship key. It's time to be pirates! I got to making some new frogs. These other drains are definitely accessible from the dream. So, with a few new friends, we made it there and started up the Croakwork mechanisms. In this house, we found another shiny thing! And when going to get the seal, we also found our final piece of rubidium for Croca. Of course, the seal had a lock on it. And of course, I already made the frogs without even knowing I needed them. I just like making the frogs. Who the f*** are you? This is Chana. He's a fellow shiny hunter, and he'll offer us unique items if we give him the shiny things. He also trades frogs for frog plushies. Oh, I'll be back to clear your stock later. Alright, maybe a few wouldn't hurt. Bring your winter coats, because we are going to climate control. No! The little dudes are frozen! Oh, well, I guess that includes who we're supposed to be meeting too. Downstairs put us at half of the scrapbook complete, but now's not the time. Our final trait. Max Umbrage has these frogs get angry. So angry that they can start to heat up. Minimum has the frogs as cool as a cucumber. So cool that they can start to drop temperatures. Oh, hi. Honor tells us that she knows where the seal is. Problem. We can't get there without the climate control back up and running. And they're completely frozen. Onward to the rescue. She makes both the heater and cooler. They can help to not only get things working again, but also let us have new ways of getting more mushrooms. You're safe, buddy! It's so cold that we even have to unfreeze the reflection pools. The Frosty Hollow is our first frog with minimum umbrage, and coincidentally, marks the halfway point of the frog section in the encyclopedia. With the cooler, we can freeze over some water to make it walkable, which allows us to get to and heat up the frozen sensors. It seems like the frogs were trying to control the seasons with rubidium. Didn't seem to work for their solarizer. Supposedly it's way too dangerous and unpredictable. All 3 keycards for Onra, and all sensors back up and running. Shiny thing! Oh my god. Wait, it's a puzzle! Wait, unlock a sunken treasure chest. Wait, it's a puzzle. I literally just looked at the lily pads. Oh, this is how we get the shiny things. We could have gotten them so much earlier. Oh, a key. Oh, a blueprint. Of the final shiny! This unlocks the aviator's flute, our only actual form of fast travel. He wants a stubby scamp, a frog with all of its stats being the lowest they can go. Okay, maybe we can come back for this. We needed to manually reboot the climate control, so with the help of 2 familiar faces, things are back to normal. We can now access some areas that we couldn't before, and found the shed key. Went to open it up and find... What? More gunk? What the hell? Fine, be that way. I wanted to go find the seal anyway. And guess who already had the frogs? And not me. Shocker, right? Alright, we got the seal. Let's go! That's the 3rd and final seal. Hell yeah. Now with all the seals, I'm making a bunch of frogs. Check these guys out. During my amphibian allocation, I also took a good minute to finish up the composter. And I never really mentioned this thing before. It's how you'd normally get the resources to grow mushrooms. I don't really use it because of this cool technique that I came up with called stealing. Now, this has literally no reason to be completed because it actually doesn't give you an achievement, but I'm here to 100% complete this game. I can't just leave empty slots open like that. You know what? This is my own achievement. During this whole Frog Fest, I managed to make the stubby scamp. And you know what that means. We can now go everywhere in record time. I did my best trying to finish off the mushrooms too, but I was having some trouble. I thought that I was doing everything the hints were telling me, and still, no mushrooms. Now, at this point, you might be thinking, well, just look at the wiki. Why take 2 hours trying to figure out some dumb mushroom? And to that, I'd say you're right. Except you're wrong. I played this game fairly close to release, meaning there was literally 0 information on the internet about this game. I was probably one of the people who knew the most about the different mushrooms and frogs. Turns out, I was going way too overboard with the hints. So we got the chill pill, blooming mane, and the torrential prune to finish off the mushrooms, earning us the title of mycologist. We can now finally go to the Central Junction's reflection pools. I went into one of the houses and found another exit, which led to what seemed like a genetically locked box. But this black junk just keeps getting in the way. It's starting to get annoying. Found a door off the map, blocked by more gunk. Okay, the record-keeping room was actually accessible after we got its key. In there, we learned about the RXRA and the frog representatives. The RXRA has come up before multiple times. They're the government here. They also helped to save some history that was lost. According to the notes, if it wasn't for them, then almost no frog history would have been recovered after a big gap in said history, dubbed the Dark Ages. Dendro let us know that the box we saw before was actually where we should be using the seals. But there was that black substance blocking our way, and Dendro's also got no clue as to what's going on. But there's still one place that might have those answers. Dumeril's secret research area, the Memory Works. Dumeril is pretty much the only reason this pond is even running. I wonder what's over there. Dendro gave us a key to be able to access the Memory Works. Well, here we go. And here we are! Why is there a broken hibernator? And why does Dumeril need to research the dream world without the RXRA's involvement? By entering the dream, we can go see who is in that hibernator. Before that, I, for some reason, got trade secrets after I'd already entered the Memory Works. Well, let's see who it is. Psych. Discover all the maps in the Atlas! Oh, hi, Dumeril. Dumeril? Wait. You mean like that Dumeril? Wait. The seals are a sham? No. We don't want to seal in the pond mother. We want to help her. It seems like Dendro isn't what he's making himself out to be. Then it seems like Dumeril has the answers to these black roadblocks. By heading to the defragmentation lab, I learned that the blockades are actually related to these big jellyfish. They've been in every area so far. We've just never known why. The black stuff exists due to the hibernating frog's inconsistent memories. The jellyfish have copies of those memories, so long as we can fix them. Good as new. Dumeril gave us both a condenser to harness the jellyfish's power, and the dream net to catch the 5 fragments that are scattered. By collecting them all, we get a forgotten memory. These can be used with a machine called the Recaller to patch up the areas that are affected. After enough exploring, I was able to get all the memories from the Memory Work jellyfish and find all the monographs for Dumeril. While using the Gateway Nexus, I was surprised to see that there was a jellyfish there too. But lo and behold, a secret doorway was being blocked by a memory. What the hell are these guys? Future frogs? Oh, yeah! Wait, what's that? Alright, I'll be back for you. By getting the memory in the spawning pool, I was able to access the emergency reserves, which apparently is where I went into hibernation. The memory in the kindergarten let us find journals from someone named Sarah, and they're a spy for someone. The residential district's room shows that this frog named Drado was sent by the RXRA, and it doesn't seem to be for the best. Finally, back to the storage room. Notes from this Drado guy, and he's mentioning the failed weather experiments we learned about before. There's an underground passage too. When entering this weird place, there's a broken machine right at the center. The RXRA has it out for Dumeril. Says him and his research are dangerous for some reason. And that machine? It was that prototype cooler, just like the unstable solarizer. This guy caused the freak snowstorm, putting all of the frogs that lived here in danger. In the central junction, I also learned why Chana's here. He's Lookout. One last memory left in the central junction, then we got him all. In here, we also learned that the real Dendro died long ago. The one we know now is a fake. Reporting back to Dumeril, I realized that all that stuff I found out, I was supposed to gradually find those things out. Alright, I kind of jumped the gun, but it's okay. Nothing like a good hunt for the forgotten wish again. I'll find this butterfly if it's the last thing I do. Fine. Back to what's important. Dumeril gave us a key to the trait examination lab. Apparently there's something that we're gonna want to see. There's more talk about how the nobility trait doesn't make any sense. Backed up by the fact that nobility 7 is never actually used for anything dream related. It all makes sense now thanks to Dumeril's notes. The RXRA has been lying about nobility. With nobility at its lowest, it makes the frogs more adept in the dream. The best they can possibly be, actually. Saying that it was useless? was just a blatant lie. It's time to get this show on the road. The Gateway Nexus is where the real way to help the Pond Mother is. While here, we also find our final note, marking the scrapbook complete. To power the stepping stone that'll get us to the Pond Mother, we need to have tadpoles of the true, perfect frog, the sublime Imperion. With the tadpoles offered, the central platform has lifted. We've got one last genetic lock to deal with. Oh, holy shit! Nah, I'm just kidding. This one's actually pretty easy. If you make the right magic mud, everything else just comes down to constantly having to breed it again. Just make sure that the last one has a minimum nobility in there, and presto! Another sublime Imperion ready to help the Pond Mother. Here it is. Whoa, 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 whoa! Thank you for everything you have done. As for you, little imposter, I have been told about your actions here. You will be held responsible for your crimes. The truth you hope to keep secret will be made known to all. It is time for a new beginning. The Pond Mother said ain't having that. With that, Mudborne is over. But not for us. We still have a few more things to take care of. Complete truth will out. Hello, Pond Mother! Sorry, Rana. Rana still has one last task for us, though. She wants one of each frog type to be placed onto the lily pads. So, let's hop to it! Fill every space in the Pond Mother's pool. Fully restored. For our reward, we can now freely enter the dream whenever we want. With or without a reflection pool. 3 ribbits and BAM! The dream. The Completionist tab in the compendium now opens up. Our last few goals are right here. And we've actually done most of them already. Before we start this checklist, I've got someone I have to see. I could have gotten you the day I saw you. The futuristic frog. This guy's cool as hell! It's frog time! The waiting bullfrog was the last one I needed to complete every species of frog though. Still got a bit more to do though, thanks to the variants. Since I had all the frogs now, I also made sure to get one of each frog plush from Chana. I've neglected collecting one thing this whole time though, the plants. So a quick field trip around the ponds and that floor is mine. All that was left was clearing up the remaining frog variants. Took a bit, but most frogs didn't cause any trouble. I said most. Look, I love this game. So now I get to rant. There were 2 frogs that made absolutely 0 sense. I spent a solid hour just trying to figure out how to get these final variants for the Dozy Dreamer and Towering Prince. The reason for this, the hints sucked. The Dozy Dreamer reads, a cleaner but more mischievous variant. What trait is mischievous? Not once has the word mischievous been brought up, nor does it even relate to any trait established. Then there's the Towering Prince, which reads, a variant that is a tad grubbier, calmer, and less hungry. What's wrong with that one, you're probably thinking? Just lower odor, umbrage, and audacity. Well, that sucks, because I already tried that. The word grubbier's description is dirty, grimy. You see how this makes no sense? That odor doesn't work? Less odor makes it more clean. It literally says that in the game. But you want to know what trait you need to lower for both of them? Nobility. Why? God if I know! The only reason I ever figured this out is because this was the first day that Mudborne actually had a wiki! With the Polished Dreamer and Lukewarm Prince finally in my possession. I found every frog. Meaning that I have every achievement in what? Oh, motherfucker! Is that it right there? Was that it right there? No shot did we just find it immediately. It was right here. Dude, I swear to God, it was right here. It was right here. We've never seen that before. Oh! Discover all the critters. Okay, so we just somehow got that for some reason. Thank you so much for playing. I really, really mean it. That you got this far means the world to me. The Completionist achievement! We did it! With every single Mudborne achievement. All what? 90 frog variants? 24 mushrooms? 21 critters? Whatever things I could find, scrapbooks, maps, the entire game, all of it. We did all of it. To the devs, thank you. And I really mean it. Mudborne has been a blast and definitely ranks in my favorite games of the year. With that though, I'm done. I did everything that the game threw my way. And I'd do it again in a heartbeat. So let me say one more time, thanks, Mudborne.
Hey, yo, check it. There's a frog. Hello, Mr. Frog. How are you? It's like Mudborne. Oh,